The Giants' offense is likely to change. In day one of NFL free agency, the Giants made some big-time moves to really turn things around in the John Harbaugh regime that are going to give their offense a true bolster for what we can expect in what we all hope to be a big turnaround for the Giants in 2026. What was one of those big moves? Well, it had to do with the player that John Harbaugh himself unsolicited brought up during the NFL Combine, and the Giants themselves have been linked to for a few weeks now. What exactly was that move? Well, it was signing Ravens' former tight end, Isaiah Likely. And according to Jordan Schultz, the Giants are signing former Ravens tight end Isaiah Likely to a 3-year, $40 million contract with upside to $47.5 million per multiple sources. The deal makes Likely the third highest paid tight end in the NFL and pairs him with Jaxson Dart and Malik Nabers as a dangerous offense in New York City. Now, why do we say dangerous offense? I mean, if you've watched Isaiah Likely play on the Ravens the last 2 seasons and you've seen some of the plays that he's made, you know that he's big time. And we talked a little bit last week about the possibility of losing Wan'Dale Robinson in free agency. That's come to fruition. Wan'Dale Robinson just signed a contract with the Tennessee Titans to be one of Cam Ward's go-to weapons, familiarity with Brian Daboll. And they knew they were going to have to pivot, speaking on the Giants, in this. And they've done a tremendous job with this because, yes, Isaiah Likely is a tight end, but he can be used in that slot position that Wan'Dale Robinson was used himself in the Giants offense. Just a bigger version of it. I mean, when you pull apart some of those numbers that, truly come to mind with what the Giants are going to be able to do, I mean, there's a lot to think about here. I mean, just kind of going through things off the team stats alone. As an offense, the Giants, they put up 5.8 yards per pass, right? Average put up 3,642 yards. They had 550 attempts, 358 completions, 25 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Now, really digging deep into this thing is what can Isaiah Likely do for the Giants in this new situation that he's been brought into. And if you look at the stats here, it's a decent amount of stuff that he brings to the table. I mean, just like getting into it. You look at these past couple of seasons for him in 4 years with the Ravens. He's put up 15 touchdowns, put up 1,568 yards, 135 receptions. He was targeted by Lamar Jackson 194 times. And you look at his success rate over the 4 years of his career, he's got a 51.5% success rate, 55.6 specifically in 2025. The Giants desperately need help in the red zone. And I mean, when you think of Isaiah Likely specifically and what he brings, listen, man, it is 100% red zone offense. Isaiah Likely has been nothing but tremendous for the Ravens specifically in these last 2 seasons. And it's a loss. Look, stuff like that right there. He's big time in the red zone. So it's a loss for the Ravens. It's a huge gain for the Giants and what it is that they're trying to do as far as rebolstering this offense goes. We've talked a lot about the rushing attack. We know that Jaxson Dart can do it with his legs. You've got Cam Skattebo coming back from injury. You got Tyrone Tracy coming back. Devin Singletary's contract was restructured, so you know that that's your running back room right there with those 3 guys who finished 5th in the league in rushing. None of those 3 guys are top guys in the league. But to get back on the passing game of this, Isaiah being able to have Malik Nabers coming back from his injury, knowing that guys are going to have to game plan for him, along with Isaiah Likely, who's, as we said, game changer for them and what they're trying to do. You're also pairing him up with Theo Johnson, who's trying to build on last year. It takes a lot of pressure off Theo Johnson, and what he's able to do. One of the biggest problems with Theo Johnson last year, not so much was, I want to say, his play and his playmaking ability, but he does have some drops issues, right? So you figure being able to take some of the pressure off him, bringing Isaiah Likely in there, is going to be able to do wonders for him. I mean, just look at the stats themselves with Theo Johnson, in only 2 years, right? Amassing 859 yards. He's got 6 touchdowns in his 2-year career, 74 receptions. He was targeted 17 times. So you have that in your back pocket, hoping that with this will come a shift and maybe you'll get better play out of him with more attention going to Isaiah Likely. So that's big in there, and really just a lot of different things that they can do. They also re-signed Chris Manhertz. So re-signing Chris Manhertz is big for them too, and with everything that they're trying to do. And why I say it's big for them signing Chris Manhertz is because you continue to have that vet presence in there. The Giants are trying to get a turnaround here, and yes, Chris Manhertz is a returning player for the Giants, but not a young guy. So you have him coming back, and he'll be more of a blocker, which the Giants really do need, especially with them losing Carmen Bracillo, who went over to coach the Tennessee Titans offensive line. Did re-sign Jermaine O'Umenor, which is big time, and we'll talk about that in another video. But the Giants need all the help that they can get with the offensive line and protecting Jaxson Dart. So having Chris Manhertz in there is huge. But aside from that, man, just bringing in Isaiah Likely, a guy who's had playoff success in the past and big-time plays and whatnot, really does become a game changer for this team. Now, another thing that the Giants did in free agency was they decided to re-up in special teams. And what do I say about that? Well, we know John Harbaugh's calling card. What was his role before he became a head coach? He was a special teams coordinator for Andy Reid. So what exactly do the Giants do here in free agency along with this big-time move for getting Isaiah Likely? Well, according to Jordan Schultz again, the Giants and former Ravens punter Jordan Stout have agreed to a 3-year, $12.3 million deal that makes him the highest paid punter in the NFL per multiple sources. Again, big time stuff here. The Giants desperately needed a new punter, and they got an all-pro punter in Jordan Stout at that. I mean, before signing Jordan Stout, the punter was Jamie Gillen. And I mean, look, no disrespect to Jamie Gillen, but when you look at his stats, especially in this last season, what a lot of Giants fans complained about the most was, the production of Jamie Gillen and exactly what he was doing. And it was not great, specifically in 2025, played 16 games, punted 55 times, punted for 2,445 yards with 44.5 yards per punt, right? Return yards, 277, and you see the rest of those. Not fantastic, and special teams is definitely an issue for the Giants this past season. But then you go to a guy in Jordan Stout, and you look at these numbers, man, and this is exactly what got him to being a Pro Bowl player, right? And an all-pro player at that. In his last season in Baltimore alone, he started 17 games, yards on his punts, 2,657 yards per punt, 50, which is a heck of an improvement there. 159 yards returned, net yards 2,378. You look at these numbers just in 2025 alone, and you say, I'll take that all day. You know, over his career, he started 68 games, punted 231 times. How much? 10,984 yards. And then his yards per punt over his career, 47 and a half. So that is huge, man. And what it shows us is John Harbaugh is a cheat code. And this is only just the beginning. So if you like this and want to hear more, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm Rich Perez, and this is your Giants Digest.